Hi everybody, Mr. Politics here, and welcome to another video. This story, this news story is going to make you mad. And I caught Judge Sir Robert J, his name, has wished one of the 7/7 bombers the best of luck. Yes, you heard it right. A lefty sympathetic judge has wished one of the 7/7 bombers, well, one of the masterminds of the 7/7 bombings, the best, wished him the best of luck because he's due to be released from prison. He's been in prison 20 years. It just shows you, doesn't it, what kind of judges we now have in this country who wish a known terrorist all the best on their release from prison. The police have said that he's still a threat to the public. And God help that Judge Robert J, if that known terrorist who was behind the 7/7 bombings does anything, then that judge is going to have blood on his hands. And if anything does happen, then that judge ought to be arrested and put in jail for the same length of time as that terrorist is just wished the best of luck. That judge should serve at least 20 years. Now, 20 years is not good enough for him, for that judge. He should be put in serving life. Because you can bet your life that something will happen because, like I've just said, the police have said that he's still a threat to the public. And you know what they say? Once a terrorist, always a terrorist, and they never change. He's still got his Islamist beliefs, and he still intends to cause harm to innocent members of the public, not only to Christians but also Jews. It's a threat to them as well. I mean, how can a judge say that? How can a judge wish a known terrorist the best of luck? I suppose now that when he comes out, he's going to be walking our streets and he's going to need to be watched 24/7. Our police and security forces have already stretched to the limit, keeping an eye on the known terrorists. Another one we've just got to be watched around the clock. All his movements have got to be monitored. And of course, he can't wear a tag because there's a loophole. The reason being is he spent that long in jail. The judge has said that it has made him mentally unstable. Well, if he do- if he wanted to avoid jail, he shouldn't have been one of the masterminds behind the 7/7 bombing, should he? He could have avoided jail if he hadn't took it into his head with the rest of his Muslim friends carry out the attack like they did. He could have avoided all that, avoided going to jail by not taking part in it. But of course, now everybody's got to feel sympathy towards him. You'll have the usual lefty nut jobs, the usual campaigners who campaign for people's mental health. They'll feel sorry for him. But if anything happens, then that judge should be arrested and put on trial and hopefully found guilty and put in jail for all the rest of his life. I mean, it was the same with that Judge Bean, the name Bean, who jailed Lucy Connolly. He was a rogue judge. I mean, he should have been he should have been arrested and put in jail. Now you might ask yourselves who is running our justice system at the moment. Certainly not the government. It's certainly not the Home Secretary, who, by the way, we've had a new one, Habib Mahmood. She hasn't got had a very good start, has she, with all the migrants crossing coming in in the channel. That's not a very good start for her. And there's another sinister organisation behind this who really control our justice system. It's the Fabian Society. They've got something to do with this. I mean, after all, our former Prime Minister, Tony Blair, is a member of the Fabian Society, and also these judges. They're also members of it. They're the real power behind the government. They're the ones who control people's lives. It's them. And of course, you've got a lot of judges who are members of these Fabian Society. I mean, you've got Starmer. He, ta- he takes more notice of them than he does of anybody else. But I just hope that if this terrorist who's been released can mend his ways, but I don't think he will. Like I've said, he's going to have to be watched 24/7. His every movement will have to be watched. He'll have to be put under surveillance. Another one that the taxpayer has got to pay the police and MI5 and MI6 to watch. Another one. Why wasn't he convicted in why didn't he get a full life term? That's what he should have got. He should have got a full life term. He should have been in prison for the rest of his life. Not released after 20 years, because, like I've said, the police have said he's still a threat. And we've got a known terrorist. Now he'll be free to walk our streets, no doubt planning some future terrorist attacks. And if there is a future terrorist attack and he's ever caught again, he's put in prison for the rest of his life. Anyway, that's the end of this video. The politics here signing off. And remember, don't believe the lies.